Coming up this week on The Local Game, we'll take a look at the brand new facility down at Kilburn as it opens up for the State League on the weekend, plus the big derby, all the action-packed weekend in the WNPL as well. Some big results happening down at Service FM Stadium. That's all coming up tonight in The Local Game. Welcome back to The Local Game for episode 22. It's great to have you back for another week, another edition right here after a great weekend of local football. Well, it's great to be back in the hands of Alessio Carrocci back on board. Good to have you back, mate.
Yeah, a long time no see. We only see each other a couple of days ago in the derby game, but I'm sure we'll talk about that later, and it's good to be here again.
Absolutely. It was great to see you then. We saw you only a few days prior to that as well, so it's like I'm seeing you a lot lately. It's good. Not complaining. But anyway, we've got heaps to get through, and also before we move forward, congratulations, you've graduated at uni.
Yeah, first one done, couple of years down the track now, so we'll keep going and hopefully that HEC stat doesn't get too high.
Yeah, don't get it too high, mate, because you'll be there for a while. A lot of commentary work you have to do to pay that back. But let's go into the hot topics for this week. A lot to get through this week, but you mentioned it previously. Topic number one, the derby was back on the weekend. The big game, it's probably, I reckon, the one of two games for the year you got to mark in your calendar because it is, the first one is the first version of it at Croatia Raiders earlier in the year, but this is the second, and I think best derby going around in local football in South Australia, and the one with the most tradition as well.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, the history goes back for a long time between these two teams at different ovals, different venues as well. But I mean, we've been on quite a few derbies this year ourselves. We've been on the Campbelltown Adelaide City one as well, and we're going to talk about where their local rivals are at the moment in West Adelaide. But this one's definitely been one that's been marked on the calendars to be in the top flight for a long time, and finally we got it. And both of them have probably lived up to the expectations. Absolutely,
it did on the weekend, and we saw exactly what it meant for them as well in the change rooms afterwards. The singing, the chanting, it meant a lot, and especially for Andoni Natsiopoulos, the captain, missed out earlier in the year. He was almost part of the cheer squad last time. I think he was a ground steward, just so he could get there and get the crowd going and singing. This time he got to play, and he played his heart out, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he had one of the best features in that first half himself, getting a goal and assist about 20-25 minutes in. So, I mean, left nothing left on the field, and I'm sure I really like those celebrations, scoring in front of the home end as well. That's something you dream about.
Exactly, and I was there till 11:30, and now we're still partying hard at that stage. I don't think the party was even at a tipping point yet. It was still on its way up. So a lot happening, but also well done to the Croatia Raiders as well. We saw earlier in the year that they stayed back, the FK Belgrade stayed back in the club rooms, and now we saw Croatia Raiders do exactly the same thing this time around, and it just really shows the turning point of this rivalry. The rivalry's still there on the pitch, but off the pitch, everyone still gets along, which is fantastic to see.
Yeah, I mean, no love lost. I mean, there was a bit of sparks flying on the field near the end during different parts of the game. Some callbacks from the first game as well, but it seemed like by the end of the game, everything was calm and they could shake their hands and have a couple of chiv-ups with each other.
Exactly, and I heard the chicken wings sold out before we got in there, and also the potato salad was on point on the weekend. But let's move on to the next topic as well. It is Olympics coming up, and Football SA are holding something called Olympics Live. You've probably seen it pop up on your social media. It is a screening of the Olympics at Service FM Stadium, but not only just there's football, but there's going to be other sports there which are teaming up to show. So it's going to be good to head out and watch it at a live site.
Yeah, I mean, I actually got a good friend, a girl I went to school with who is in the athletics team of the Olympics as well. So I think she's doing the race walk, which she's part of, or some cross-country type of variant. But it'll be interesting to see them play all the sports there as well. And of course, some of the Matildas are going to be in action as well, and the female counterparts of the football. So it's good to see, and hopefully you bring some medals home.
Yep, absolutely. I think that event is on August 3rd from 6 p.m. So you can check that out online and book your spot there to go and watch with a whole heap of green and gold fans. Well, if you love your blue and white, they were back home on the weekend. They were at their new home, not back home. They were at their brand new home, which we've been waiting for a very, very long time. It's not complete just yet, but it's at the point where they can play games, and that is Kilburn. West Adelaide, back in their home ground on the weekend. It was fantastic to see. They've been training there, but they haven't been able to play games yet, and they finally got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, some of the pictures there I saw, and I watched part of the game before we had to jump onto our game there as well. It was against a couple of my friends in the Sturt Lions as well. They said the tifo was incredible before the game, and the the smoke machines before the walkout as well.
Which set off the fire alarm, so that's good to know that it works.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of extra atmosphere, no one complains. But yeah, it was a great game for them there, and a couple of penalties late on really secured the win for them, and they're trying to push for a final spot, which it might be interesting to see if they've got a couple of home games, what that advantage can bring for them.
Absolutely. And we talk about derbies as well. The Adelaide City, West Adelaide derby, well, it's going to be happening in the WNPL this weekend. So the first WNPL game to be played there Friday night between those two teams. So looking forward to that. The State League on the weekend, and now they get WNPL. So if you want to go and check out the venue, I've heard it looks amazing. So I wouldn't mind heading down there on Friday night.
Yeah, it's pretty imposing as well from all accounts that I've heard of as well. They say it's almost like a prison. And that could be a good thing or a bad thing, but in the soccer world, that's just an imposing figure to have when the ground's just engulfing you like that, a big concrete structure. So
yeah, well, it looks amazing, but it does look like a really good stadium. So I can't wait for it to be completely finished, but it's good to finally have games there. Anyway, let's move into the next part, which is the NPL on the weekend. Some great results from the weekend, all Saturday action. Let's take a look at those results right now. With kicking it all off in the afternoon with South Adelaide. Adelaide United, a 4-2 win for the Reds. So unfortunately, I think mathematically we're at a point where South Adelaide will get relegated. There's no coming back for them. Metro Stars couldn't get any more than just a point against Para Hills Knights. But the big game, I think, for me, a 4-1 win for Adelaide Olympic over Croydon FC. That's almost like 3 or 4 years now that Croydon have not been able to overcome Adelaide Olympic.
Yeah, I mean, the Battle of Regency Park and the
M2 derby?
The M2 derby, that's what they call it now. So they just haven't been able to get over them, and it's a massive points for Adelaide Olympic, who are now battling with a couple of teams for that second relegation spot and to get out of it. But even just a couple of the other results as well there. In the Modbury Jets Adelaide City game, a couple of fantastic strikes. Giuseppe Makeda and Francesco Scammizzi both finding the top corner. And also in the Adelaide United game as well. I mean, everyone was talking about the Luka Jovanovic hat-trick, but I just noticed in some of the highlights I was watching today, it was a Harry Crawford with 3 assists as well. So, I mean, the youngsters are...
Great young player.
Yeah, the youngsters are proving that it's not just the A-League names that are finding the highlight reels, it's a couple of the youngsters coming through as well.
Yeah, definitely so. And when you look at the ladder as well, let's take a quick look at the ladder. As it stands, Adelaide Olympics win on the weekend has done them a very big favour because now they're only 4 points away from Croydon FC, but 3 points within reach of Para Hills Knights and Adelaide Croatia Raiders. Adelaide Croatia Raiders and Para Hills play each other this weekend, so big game for them. But Adelaide Olympic, somehow they always manage to crawl themselves out in this position every year.
Yeah, I mean, they've been a perennial team that has been fights for the cup every year, but probably doesn't get as close to the finals as they'd like and hope. But a couple of the new signings they've made this year as well. Finally, a good family cousin of mine, Alex Damasi, made his debut for them. But another player as well, Passia John, who had a great start to the year with Adelaide Victory, scoring some wonder goals. And he finally got his name on the back of the score sheet for Adelaide Olympic, his new club. And maybe that's what they need, a bit more firepower up front. And they're really starting to show something now. Yeah,
and the 3-3 draw as well between Campbelltown and Adelaide Comets has really hurt them because now they're 5 points away from second place. Metro Stars. So a big gap there now. So it looks like it could be Metro and Modbury Jets coming away with it. But 4 games to go. Anything still happen. But it's looking that way that top 2 could be Metro and Modbury.
Yeah, I mean, those two, Campbelltown and Comets, have been perennial rivals over the last few years in final series games, grand finals as well. And a quick mention as well, Connor Santafanti's first league goal as a senior player. I mean, he scored a cup goal a couple of years ago. And then he had an unfortunate ACL injury. But to see a defender get up there and put it at the top bins like that, I mean, maybe Matriciani's got another striker to worry about.
Yes, absolutely. Well, well done to him. And some great football on the weekend. Can't believe there's only 4 rounds to go. It's all heating up now. Well, don't go anywhere because on the other side, we're going to talk state leagues. We've got a lot of interesting results down there on the weekend. Don't go anywhere. It is the local game. back to the local game. It's great to have you back on board. If you're watching on Keko Media YouTube or Channel 44 on the weekend, it's great to have you here for another week. A lot to get through. We're going to go into state leagues, but before we do, last week we mentioned and launched the almost official goal of the year. So make sure you get your entries in. We are seeing a few come through already from all different leagues. Mainly the State League 2 is what we want to see as well, because we don't get to see it as much. We talk about it, don't get to see the goals as much as we would hope. And also any other goals that are in other senior leagues. So send those through to us and enter, because you might win the almost official goal of the year. It's not official, it's almost. But you're going to send one of your goals in. I know you scored on the weekend for the reserves.
Yeah, unfortunately I can't put that in, and I can't put offside goals either. But one of our players, Michael Weston, scored a banger volley earlier in the year that was an improbable angle, and I'm going to send that one in and see if we can win anything. But
that's all right. We'll egg you on to get a goal in the senior. You've got 4 more rounds to go. Come on, mate. Get it and register. But I don't know if you can because you're a co-host. But anyway, you still can. A goal's a goal. But get those registrations coming in thick and fast. You can get the link on our bio on Instagram and Facebook. So anyway, let's head into State League 1 from the weekend. Let's check out those results now. Western Strikers, a 2-3 loss to LA Cobras at home. That's hurting them now because they're going to be in that relegation zone now and 5 points away from getting out. Yeah,
what a game that was. I mean, Adelaide Cobras 2-0 up. One of our FSA friends as well, Daniel Scorsanelli, getting on the score sheet. And then the captain, fantastic, number 10 for Western Strikers, wearing the number 10 as well. Adrian D'Alfonso scoring 2 penalties late on. Looks like he's going to secure the points and score his 10th goal of the season after that second one. But a 95th minute winner for Cobras, wrapped up all the 3 points for them, and they're going to push on as well out of that relegation zone. And it's going to be the last 4 games to remember for Western Strikers to see if they can get out of this.
Absolutely. Fulham United as well. Their 3-0 win over Adelaide Victories almost certainly secured Adelaide Victory the relegation spot. Even though I don't think it's mathematically possible that they're automatically down yet, but they still got a chance. But I don't think they will be able to stay afloat this season. Salisbury United, a 3-1 win over Cumberland United. West Adelaide, they got to grace their home brand new turf with a 2-1 win over Sturt Lions. But Vipers, a 1-6 loss to Playford City as well on the weekend. Big win for Playford.
Yeah, I mean, Dan Ryan scoring 4 goals as well for Playford. I mean, goals seem to be coming from everywhere for them. The last few games they've been only scoring and conceding about 1 or so a game. And earlier in the season we did liken them to scoring about 5 or 6 when they were really on fire. And now they're really securing that top spot at the moment. In the other games you mentioned as well, in the Salisbury, Matt Taylor, another 2 goals. That's 3 braces in 3 games. And he's overtaken Dante Cacciavellani as the top scorer in the State League 1. So if anyone's a form player in the league at the moment, it's Matt Taylor. And I think Salisbury up on the charge as well to that final series, back-to-back.
And, the one I didn't touch on as well, the West Torrens Bacala one against Adelaide Blue Eagles, a Friday night game. Joy Zakani, he's scoring the 2 goals to get them back in the lead for West Torrens Bacala after going down to Adelaide Blue Eagles. But a few cards in there as well, a fiery one and a red card for Costa Mantis, bringing them down to 10 men. But that was after they were in front 3-2 over Adelaide Blue Eagles. So huge 3 points for Burks.
Yeah, another couple of braces in that game. Soy Tsakani, as we just said, made the move from Olympic not too long ago. Scored a couple and one outside of the foot Trevella Classic into the top right. And yeah, the Pega man himself, Costa Mantis, getting a red card, which was a bit adjudged to jump 2 feet off the ball. But for the Blue Eagle side, Amari Didera as well with a couple of goals himself. And Melad Ahmad continuing his form in front of goals as well.
Well, let's take a look at the State League 2 results now. Big results from the weekend. Let's take a look at those. And, some big action as well. Eastern United, 4-0 win over you, Alessio. That's in the seniors. You didn't score a goal in that one. It's 4-0. But what did you make of that performance?
Yeah, I mean, a bit of controversy in that one as well. We had a bit of a team sheet error before the kickoff. Had to play a player in goals, as our keeper was not on our player point system first team squad list. Accidentally removed. So we had to play a player in goals. He actually had a fantastic performance himself, and it was his first start as a senior player in any position.
Yeah.
So it was good to see that from him, but they were just too good on the day, Eastern United, and made it count. It was only 1-0 at half time, but by the end of the day, they just had more attacking pressure and could get the result.
Well, him being an outfield player and going in goals, almost like a Mark Talbot kind of esque moment. So maybe he's inspired by Mark Talbot. Maybe he might get on comm soon as well.
Yeah, you never know. Even some of the women's have done that in the last few weeks as well. and the NTC squad in the West Adelaide team as well. So.
And also, it was actually a good weekend for the rivals of yours, Mount Barker United. Down the road, Adelaide Hills Hawks got a 1-0 win over Port Adelaide. Massive win for them to be able to get those points.
Yeah, I mean, Port Adelaide have been a team all season. We don't know what's going to rock up and where their form's going to come from, but it seems like Adelaide Hills Hawks are their bogey team. They've done them twice now this year, and they're making that gap a bit more closer to us. They're only 4 points behind us with 4 games to go. So I hope they've got a couple more tough fixtures up ahead, so they can stay below us for a bit longer.
Yeah, Pontian couldn't get the job done, unfortunately, but they're still 1 point away from LA Uni. So Uni are back on top after their big win over the Gawler Eagles. So some big results down there. And Cove, they also lost to LA United in that friendly during the week as well, last week. So it's great to see these friendlies happening for LA United. So there's still more to go before the Cup. So make sure you can head out to those if you can. But I always love this time of year to go watch friendlies with the local clubs. But anyway, let's head into the WSL, the final one of the state leagues from the weekend. Well, those results were a big one not a big one, they didn't get the win, but the lowest margin they've lost in the game, and it's even lower than the one where they had to forfeit. A 2-0 loss for Croydon FC over Fulham United. They're really struggling this season, Fulham. They've just that drop from WNPL has really hurt them. All their players left to go stay in WNPL, as they would, most of them. But they just haven't really been able to find their feet this year, and it's hard to watch from an outsider to see the powerhouse they were only a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit fortunate there's no double relegation you can do in the women's leagues, but I mean, as you said, the form they had in the past, I think they had Fiona Wirtz there not long ago. They had Jenna McCormick there not long ago as well. So they've had fantastic players in the past, and at least it means now that a couple of youngsters, this is their time to put their name on the map and try and get their team out of this zone.
Absolutely. Well, some big results there. We've got this WNPL to chat about later on. But right now, I caught up with a special guest from the week. Let's have a listen to that interview right now. I'm down here at Kilburn Sportsplex, the home of West Adelaide, and I'm here with the head coach of the WNPL side, Kosta. It's good to have you on board. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's good to be here. Brand new facilities. This is absolutely amazing, and we had the first State League 1 game on the weekend, but this weekend it's your turn. The WNPL are kicking it all off this Friday night. How excited are you we've been training here, but to finally play the game right here in the stadium?
Very excited. I think the girls have been waiting a very long time to finally get this game, and it's going to be a fantastic event, a fantastic moment for the club as well to finally have a home venue, and yeah, can't wait. It's
exciting. It's a great setup here. The facility is incredible. I just had a tour with Nicole through the change rooms and all that, and to see what you got here is probably up there with one of the best facilities. Once it's fully complete as well, but at the moment it's probably one of the best. How's that helped you guys with training as well? Because you've been training here the whole time.
Yeah, definitely. Having full access to the facility now, including the change rooms, treatment rooms, etc., has been a fantastic thing for the players. Now they can truly settle in. They can truly treat it like a home venue. The pitch is amazing as well. I can't ask for anything more as a coach, and the team's loving it right now.
Yeah, and then for the fans as well, if it does rain, we're undercover. It is spitting a little bit as we talk, but we're not getting wet. It's great area to be sitting in.
Yeah.
It's almost like a mini Hummer stadium.
It is very much so. Yeah.
It is great to be here. So it's good to finally see it opened this Friday night. So you can come down, check it out, and support you guys. But in a couple of weeks' time, you're going to be in the Cup final. This team, they've been doing an amazing job so far this year, sitting on top of the table. How proud are you of this team to get to where they are so far?
Extremely proud. I think from the outside it probably looks like it's been an easy thing for the team to keep taking steps forward, but it has been a long journey.
Yep.
From pre-season till now, and the players have, to their credit, have absorbed every message that we've given them along the way, and I can't ask for anything more from them. The way that they're performing at the moment is truly exceptional. So as a coach, I'm very honoured to be leading this team right now.
It is fantastic. Seems like they're enjoying themselves, especially with you and Nicole as well. It seems like a really good bunch of people and girls in your team.
Yeah, I think the way that the group is integrated, given there have been a few new faces come in and a few younger faces as well, has been exceptional. It's not often that you find these experienced players taking these young ones under their wings.
Yep.
As comfortably as this group have, and I can't ask for anything more from the girls that have been in these positions before to challenge for trophies and win titles and to take everyone else on that journey. It's just been a great thing to have as a group, and from a coaching perspective, it's made my life a lot easier as well.
Well, and lastly, how have you found the transition to come into the club as well? First season here, how have you found that personally?
Yeah, look, it's been amazing. Last season being involved with NTC was a brilliant moment for myself, but the club has been very welcoming. There's been nothing that I've needed that I haven't been able to have provided for me. So I think the players truly know what a great club they're at, and as a coach, I definitely know that as well.
Brilliant. Well, good luck this weekend at the new facilities.
Thank you.
And all the best in a couple of weeks' time for the Cup final.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was great to catch up there. Well, don't go anywhere. On the other side, go Sunny Solar, WNPL. We'll chat all about that and take a look at this weekend's action. Some big games happening this weekend. You're on a cold call this weekend. It's not a cold call, a cold call up in Mount Barker. But we'll talk about that soon. Don't go anywhere. It is the local game. Welcome back to the local game. Well, it's been a great weekend of football, and it was no different in the Go Sunny Solar WNPL. Let's take a look at those results from the weekend. Round 14 action, a 1-0 win for Flinders United over Adelaide University. It's kind of taken them out of that danger zone, and also, well, Adelaide Uni are looking like they might be in that playoff spot for relegation potentially if Sturt can't turn things around.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of big outs in that game for both sides. I mean, for Adelaide Uni, you had Tanae Morris, who's Australia under-20s duty at the moment, and the captain of Flinders United, Anastasia Willoughby, she was out with an injury as well. So it's going to be a big return to come back for both those players for their clubs in the next few weeks. And I think the next game for Flinders United is a little derby with Sturt Lions.
Yep, and then we got the Sturt Lions couldn't get a job done either against Salisbury Inter. Only a 1-0 loss there, but they would be hoping to try and get some good form with the Cup only around the corner, a couple of weeks away. But a 4-1 win for Adelaide City. NTC lose to West Torrens Berkala, but the big one, a win for West Adelaide, 6-1 over Adelaide Comets, is just really securing their spot at the top down there for the WNPL. So they would be very, very happy with their performance on the weekend. Yeah,
I think they're going to have the loss of Rachel Quigley in the next few weeks as well. So to get some wins on the board there and maybe create a bit of a gap until she possibly comes back or not, then I think it's going to be good to put them in good stead for the end of the season.
Yeah, 6 points now, the gap. Adelaide Comets obviously don't have to worry about Adelaide City. There's a bit of a gap there as well. Well, Comets, they'd probably be happy with second spot, but they would want to try and get to that first. But I don't think there's any chasing West Adelaide. They're just a very strong and well put together team this year.
Yeah, well, especially if their women are going to play at Kilburn as well. I'm sure they're going to have a lot of home advantage. I mean, they've been training there for most of the last few years as well, so they really know everything in and out about that place. And if they get their fans there as well, they're really going to create a force. Well,
that's a good talking point, mate, because we'll look into this weekend's fixtures, which surprisingly at all 5 different venues this weekend of the Go Sunny Solar WNPL. Let's take a look at those, and it all kicks off Friday night, where we will see Kilburn alight, where the West Adelaide will finally play their first ever WNPL game at their home facility. I can't wait to see how that all goes down there. I reckon they'll be very excited to play that. But Adelaide City obviously will be excited to be part of that game as well. NTC are playing at home at Service FM Stadium against Comets. So, and I'd say Comets are in for a win there and 3 points. And Flinders United playing at SA Athletic Stadium. That will be interesting. I think Sturt could get some points out of this one. But I don't know. We'll see how they go. Flinders, obviously, if Anastasia Willoughby is out, that will hurt him a little bit. She's a great player.
Yeah, I think she did let me know that she was going to be available for this game. Couldn't miss the derby. And I think it's a derby because Flinders used to be affiliated with Cumberland. So that's a bit of a derby with Sturt Lions. I mean, the men do the same kind of thing as well. So it's going to be a big game at SA Athletic Stadium. Hopefully the weather holds off. I know Friday night's going to be quite wet, to my knowledge. So it might get a bit scrappy, but a win's a win in those type of games.
Yeah, and Saturday action as well. Burkalla at home against Salisbury Inter, and TK Shutter, the home of Metro United, and they'll be taking on LA Uni. So big game there as well. TK Shutter is taking shape at the moment and looking really good. The new facility that's being built there and the grandstand, can't wait for that. It's good to finally have these great facilities being built and almost open, ready to use.
Yeah, I mean, the more and more you see the highlights from their games, you see a couple more seats come in, a couple more posts come in as well. So I think even the players are really excited to see what they can do. Maybe there'll be something, maybe there'll be quite a bit more development for the final series, and maybe they can get a couple big crowds in there if they can, and maybe that's going to push them on what they need in the final series at the moment. Metro Stars.
Absolutely.
And Metro United.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of them. Well, anyway, let's head into the men's fixtures for this weekend as well. There's no Friday night action, so there's no reason why you can't go out and support the women on Friday night and get down to Kilburn and check out that new facility. But Saturday action, Regency Park down the road, Croydon FC, South Adelaide. I reckon the biggest one from that weekend will probably be Sunday, which is LA United, Adelaide City down your way, Summit Sport and Recreation Centre.
Yeah, the NPL in Mount Barker, they do it every year, and fortunately we've got such a big game, Adelaide City vs Adelaide United. Both teams really want to get some points that are going to push them towards either safety or maybe solidify themselves in the top six. Adelaide City being in quite good form until they played Modbury. And obviously you're going to see a couple of players in and around the traps in that game that are some ex-players as well. I mean, Matt Halliday, we're trying to get him on the commentary, but unfortunately he said that he made a promise to his boys that if Adelaide City ever play up at Mount Barker, then he'll come and watch as a fan. So I think we might get a preview from him and a prediction before the game, but otherwise I think he'll be in the crowd there trying to keep himself warm.
Yes, you will be trying to keep yourself warm. Make sure you put a jacket on. Last time LA United had a merch booth there, so maybe they'll do the same. You can buy yourself a nice jacket. I know David Grant did. He's got a nice red jacket, matching one like me, so I don't know if he bought it because he wanted to match like me or because it was good discounts. But
maybe because in Mount Barker support, I don't
know. Maybe. But anyway, there's a lot to get through. There's a lot happening this weekend. Go down there if you can Sunday. Check it out. It always is fun. I was there last year and it was a good day out in Mount Barker. Anyway, it's been a big show and we're almost done, but it's pressed for time. Antonis Pagonis, he was around all weekend, took some great shots at Kilburn and also at the derby on the weekend. But now he's got the Press for Time segment where he can fill us in on the things we missed out.
Well, Johnny, it's official. 10th of October, the Socceroos are returning to Adelaide for the first time in 7 years. And with a quarter of the squad being South Australians, we can't wait to see our boys back home. Against China, like the Matildas, it's going to be a cracking game, and it's a third round of World Cup qualifiers. We are fighting again at the World Cup. See you all there.
Thank you, Antonis. And if you want to read all his winners and losers articles each week or anything else he writes, or the great team at Front Page Football as well, you can check it out on Front Page Football's website and check out all your local football news across the country. All there in one place. They do a great job. Christian and his team and Antonis is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, all the players love it. The photos and the articles as well. It makes it a bit more interesting, and you can read up some of the history as well between some of these players and teams, and that's what you want as a fan trying to follow this league if you're maybe not from here. Yep,
absolutely. And well, we thank you for joining us for another week. We are done and dusted. It's good not having my microphone here. I can just move my arm around. See, I can go like this, not hitting you at all.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, we can high five as well, and everything's done. That's it. Good night, and we'll see you again next week.
We'll see you all next week. Have a great one. It's a great week, and we're getting into the great part of the season. Don't go anywhere. It is the local game with myself and Alessio. Thank you, Alessio.
Thank you for having me. Sorry.
Well, I did enjoy you.
Preempting if you enjoyed me or not. But yeah, thanks for having me, and hopefully see you again soon.
thanks for enjoying us. It's been a great week. We'll see you all next week.